Yep. And I swear, she hit the cleanest cut I ever seen in my life. Still to this day. Boy, what the hell you doing? So according to Google Maps, 8,500,000 trillion and 4% of the population go through this dilemma. Damn, being a kid's kinda trash. You too young to do anything. You can't buy nothing. You can't sell nothing. You can't even breathe your own air without your people looking at you crazy. I mean, I guess my parents was like that. But still, you just can't do shit by yourself. But the worst thing about being a kid is that 9 times out of 10, you flat broke. The only things y'all could probably cop by yourself is eraser tops and bookmarks. But hold up, come to think of it, I don't even think that's true. Cause see, I grew up in the weak hood. And to the some of y'all that don't know what the weak hood is, it's basically the hood, but everybody power level on par with Krillin and Yamcha. AKA the hood with opportunity. So basically we all struggling together, right? We all trying to make it out. But for some reason, I was always in last place. Everybody had the essentials like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Game Boys, except me. But what caught me off guard is it had a couple of twins playing with soccer boppers in the back. Why sell these kids an incentive to box? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is these kids started to notice the trend. They started to notice that I'll either pull up and play with somebody else shit or just stand in the corner and look crazy. That being said, they took this opportunity to go after me. I was a target. Next thing I know, I'm classified as the broke boy. I'm not gonna lie, one day they caught me off guard and it got to me. So I went home and I started to take a look in the mirror. I reached down into my pockets, which y'all thought I was about to say I was broke. I mean, I at least had like a $5 on me. That's just all I was getting because my people believed in hard work get you rewards. You know, the typical. But I was trying to buy out stores at a young age, so I knew I had to concoct a plan. At first, hitting a couple licks and went up a few blocks was the move, but I knew good and damn well I wasn't trying to deal with any of those consequences if I was to get caught. And I was far too young to get a job, so I was shit out of luck. But there was this one particular day of Bible study that would change my life forever. Almost every Tuesday, my church would hold this Bible study, but this time they was coming with something a little different. I pull up to the facility and there was this lady named Miss Wanda, and she was explaining to me and all the other kids about how we could work for our home team and get paid. After I heard that, everything just stopped. I felt this aura, this energy. It was like God was looking out for your boy. He was tired of me dealing with all this nonsense. He or she wanted me to own a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards of my own. So after my spiritual awakening, Ms. Wanda starts to explain to us that anybody could get on, they just need their parents' permission. And since my parents wanted me to pay taxes straight out the womb, it was a dub. I finally got my first job. The season didn't start right away though, so I still had to witness a week or two of black on black crime. But when it did start, I hit the ground running. I wake up about, let's say, 3 hours before the game's about to start. It was still dark outside, but I ain't let that stop me. I was on a mission. Me and my family start to make our way to the football stadium, and that's when I finally started to think to myself, now what the hell they gonna be having my ass doing? But of course I didn't give it a second thought. I felt as if I was set for life. But again, I'm in my 10-year-old self, so I'm thinking I'm about to get paid just as much as these athletes do. But I was sadly mistaken real quick. We finally arrive and my brother and I hop out the whip and we start heading towards the entrance, right? I look up and I see Gru. It wasn't actually Gru, but this lady looked like Gru just with hair. But don't get me wrong, I mess with Gru heavy. It's just I could tell this lady was going to be on some other stuff just by how she was looking. And of course I was right. The first thing that came out her mouth was, "Come on here." She takes my brother and I to the football team shop inside the stadium, and I'm just flabbergasted at all these prices. It was truly a sight to see. After a few more steps, we finally make it to the back room, and the room's just stocked filled with the same merchandise. Only this time they were in baskets. She said, "Grab a basket and stand on the wall and don't move. I'ma be back." But of course, I'm a real nigga at heart. So when she left, I sat my ass down. I was not about to stand up there waiting on her to go on a hike. No way. So after about 20 minutes, she comes back, and she comes back just with the baddest attitude in the world. "Get up. What are you doing? You're not going to be sitting on this job. No, you're not. Get up now." "Come on, Gru, chill." "No, now. And that goes for all of you. You will not be sitting on this job. I will send you home in a heartbeat." So after her little speech, she directs us to go where to set up shop. It was a booth with all team accessories, foam fingers, basically everything you see in a team shop. So this is like the third time I'm seeing the same exact merchandise. But more importantly, what caught my attention was a computer and a stack of magazines already set up. But no, these weren't magazines at all. They were actually a stack of programs, $20 a pop. I'm thinking they're just wasting trees at this point, because who in their right mind would buy this? Who needs this, right? But nonetheless, Gru starts to teach me how to use the computer and the cash register, basically how to make sales. And me being 10 years old, I start to freak out. You really trust me with money? Like, somebody's gonna scam me, right? I'm a lick. But of course I didn't say anything because Gru was using her intimidation factor. Gru kept saying, if I mess this up, I'm getting a boot. So basically, after 5 minutes of just nodding my head in agreement, she leaves. And at this point, it's game time. I'm all on my own. I got this. I can do this. Literally after 5 seconds of me hyping myself up, my first customer pulls up. It's a grown man and his daughter. At this point, I'm just shaking in my boots. I had absolutely no prep time. But what puts the icing on the cake is that this little girl wanted everything on the menu. And what's crazy is, half the items Gru told me don't even get sold. So of course, I start sweating. But see, back in the day, I was a little genius. I'm thinking, okay, she wants everything, right? So I'm just gonna push every button. Comes up to about $300. Okay, whatever, cool, do your thing, boom, boom, bam. Open the register, give me your money, send you about your day. Everything's cool now, I just made my first sale. Taking an next guest, please. But 5 minutes later, this is when the finesse starts to happen. The next guy rolls up. Hey, can I get a program? Oh yeah, sure, that'll be $20. So he picks up the program and then he dips. Next freaking out part 2 starts to happen because Gru failed to tell me that programs didn't have an option in the computer. So then I start to think, okay, I'll just wait for somebody else to buy something that's actually in the computer, then I can put the money back in the register and be square. But Professor Finesser had another idea. If it's not in the system, then it wouldn't be counted, right? Yeah, I'm not putting this back. So about 15 customers in, I have like 5 programs left. And it definitely caught me by surprise. These sound like rocks. The next customer that comes around wants to buy a program, of course. So I do the same routine, take the money, put it in my pocket. But this time, Gru was around the corner looking. I look to my right and our eyes make contact. And I swear, she hit the cleanest cut I ever seen in my life. Still to this day. And the way she was coming at me, she made me feel like I was in the actual game. I'm actually surprised she don't play. She at least 6'2", 350. But when she got closer, she started walking slowly. I guess she didn't want to scare nobody off. I look at her. She's looking at me. Boy, what the hell you doing? I start thinking to myself, the jig is up. Run, nigga, run. Like, what are you doing here? Don't look at her. Don't pass, go, collect $200. Nigga, go. But my Finesser card was still activated. So I came up with a little something. What you mean? I'm just making sales, doing my thing, just like you told me. Matter of fact, just like you taught me. Thank you for that. Thank you for everything. Thank you for having me here. She ain't waste no time at all. What's in your back pocket? So of course I take the money out my back pocket. I didn't want any problems. And she started going off at me in front of all these people. And I'm trying to explain to her, like, look, they don't have an option in the computer for programs. But she wasn't having none of that. She said, make sure this doesn't happen again or you're banned from the stadium. But me being banned from the stadium didn't even faze me. I'm just glad that I made it out of there alive. So 2 hours of finessing go by and it's time to go home. I go down to the merchandise room and of course Gru's there spouting nonsense. But after her spiel, she lets us know that we all did a good job. And then she let us go. So long story short, that was the move for all the home games. And very, very fortunately, our football team made it to the playoffs that year. So that means more money for me, right? But moral of the story is, if somebody tries to give you a hard time, finesse their ass.